Welcome to the Phoenix Neighborhood Patrol Program's YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about mileage reimbursement for PNP, specifically having to do with neighborhood groups that have grant funds from the City of Phoenix for mileage reimbursement purposes. We're going to be talking about requesting a report and what to do with the mileage reimbursement report once you have it. The Phoenix Neighborhood Patrol Program does not oversee the neighborhood's grant nor their grant funds. This is up to the neighborhood group themselves with oversight by the City of Phoenix grant folks. The Phoenix Neighborhood Patrol Program will, however, supply, upon request, a record of PNP logs submitted on behalf of the neighborhood for mileage reimbursement purposes. This new method of doing it is simple. There's 4 simple steps to it. First, when you need a copy of a report, you'll send of the mileage reimbursement report, send an email to the PNP coordinator. The email address is pnp.coordinator@phoenix.gov. After that, the PNP coordinator will run the report and send the email back to you, or send the report back to you by email. And if they notice any obvious errors in that report, they will let you know. That way you can get them corrected. When a PNP member gets the report, they should review it for accuracy, look for anything that's missing or inaccurate, and if they see anything, let the PNP coordinator know. If the report looks to be accurate, then they will fill out the bottom portion, sign it, and use that as their receipt, submit that to their neighborhood person who handles reimbursement for the grant program. Whoever handles the grant program for their neighborhood would keep a copy of this report, of the signed mileage report. It would be submitted with their grant reports. This is treated like a receipt. Keep a copy in your records. We're going to talk about these in a little bit more detail. Again, to get a copy of the report, you send an email to the PNP coordinator. Their email address is at the bottom of the page right now. It doesn't have to be a lengthy email, but there are a few things that it needs to have in it. On the subject line, please list something that says mileage reimbursement for a certain person or a neighborhood group, so it can be identified quickly in a long list of emails that come in every day for the PNP coordinator. In the body of the email, please put in the name of the PNP member and their badge number that the report would be for. We have lots of PNP members, some with similar names, so please give us their full name and badge number. It'll help make it easier for us to find them in the list. After that, give us a time frame you would like the report for. Do you want it for a month? Do you want it for last month? Do you want it for this month? Are you looking for a quarter? Is it this quarter, last quarter, or do you want a customized date? Let us know the time frame. After that, if you want the email or you want the report to be emailed to anybody other than where this email came from, then please give us their email. Do not give us their name and expect us to know what their email address is. If you don't want it sent back to whoever sent the email to us originally, give us the email of the person you'd like it sent to. This is what the report looks like. This is a sample I pulled up just the other day. There's 4 basic areas to the program. We're going to talk about them individually here. The upper area is the heading, and this is where you're going to see the time frame. Where my cursor is right now is where we would fill that in if it was simply for a month. We'd put the month and the year in that box. If we're looking at a time span, then it would be over in this area. We show the beginning date and the ending date. And that just tells you what time span this particular report covers. After that, we have the imported data area. This information is all imported from the program, and it actually shows what the PNP members logged on their behalf. So this is their information here. The next area, it's the automated calculations area. What this area is good for is it has math built into the report, so it will double check things for us. For instance, this first column, what it does in each line, it takes the 2 odometers, subtracts them from each other, puts a total here in the column, and then it adds that column up and it puts the total for the column right above it, so I can get my mouse to go where I want it to, right there. So it does the math for you. This column, it actually adds up the column of what the PNP member entered on their own behalf, what they believe their miles were. And as you can imagine, these miles should match. If they don't match, we have an error. Quite often when I pull these reports, I find an error in this area, and it's almost always a simple typo of a transposition of numbers, something silly like that. This next area is where it calculates what the reimbursement will be. So it takes the number of miles that it calculated, we did total on this report, multiplies it by the current reimbursement rate, and it puts the total here in this box. It has this red circle around it with my cursors hanging out by. This is helpful because according to the grant staff, there's quite a few calculation errors when people are figuring these out, whether it's bad math skills or perhaps they're using the wrong reimbursement rate. This report will always have the current, most accurate reimbursement rate in it. The final area is the bottom area. This is the place where the P&P member this report is for will fill out and sign. They should review the report and sign the bottom if they agree that the information is accurate, and then they need to print out the rest of the information. Print their name, their badge number, the amount for the check that was issued to them, the grant number that reimbursed them, as well as the check number that was written to them. Some people ask me, well, why is there a check amount here when there's a total amount up here? Well, there's a good chance that sometimes you're going to write a check for a different amount than what's up top here. For instance, this particular report shows that these people had earned $22.62 in mileage reimbursement. But let's say the grant only had $20 left in the category for mileage reimbursement, then the check can only be made out for that $20. So you can imagine there might be times where this is going to be quite important. So once it's all filled out and ready to submit, it's going to look something like this report here. As you can see, the bottom is filled out and it's ready to go. Remember, this is treated like a receipt. So the P&P member will take the signed receipt or the signed report, turn it over to whoever manages the grant funds for your neighborhood or their neighborhood, and they will write a check for the reimbursement amount. So whoever gets this report would need to hang on to a copy of it, actually hang on to the report, maintain a copy for your records, submit one with your quarterly grant report, just like you do any other receipt from any other place you've been shopping. Yes, it's a hard copy report. It had to be that way so the P&P member can sign it. But just like your register receipts you get when you're shopping, you need to find a way to make it an electronic form so you can submit it electronically with your grant. What are the benefits of doing it this way? One, it's a little bit more technical. It's easier to do. There's a decrease in paperwork, less duplication of effort. Big things is it double checks everybody's math, so we know we have fewer errors. You can imagine fixing mathematical errors after checks have been written in a grant is sometimes challenging. It verifies that the reimbursed patrols were actually logged on behalf of the Phoenix Neighborhood Patrol Program. And one of the most important things for the grant staff is the computer reports are significantly easier to read than the handwritten ones. As you can see, it's only a few steps to get the report and take care of what you need to do for your grant reimbursements. So anyways, good luck with it. If you have any questions about this, get a hold of the P&P coordinator. Their contact information is on the screen. And thank you for tuning in.